Welcome to this edition of Frank Friday. Let's talk about worry. In today's Frank Friday, I don't really want to be controversial. I want to just be frank and helpful around worry. Now, for myself, before most telephone calls, I experience this crippling anxiety. Or before big meetings, I start to worry about what is the worst that's going to happen. And I have these long conversations and these long arguments that didn't even exist. What I've done is I've created a massive work of fiction inside of my head and overwhelmed myself about the upcoming meeting. Now, in real life, pretty much 99% of all these meetings go the complete opposite way. They're wonderful. They're great. My clients are kind. They love what we do. It's a great conversation. But for some reason, I have this crippling anxiety, this crippling worry. Something I learned a few years ago that I've been practicing and I would love to encourage you to do is worrying about it when it happens. So if you find yourself getting anxious or concerned about something that's coming up in the near future and you're going through the worst in your head of what can happen, try and say to yourself, well, that hasn't happened yet. That thing that I am imagining has not happened. Therefore, there is nothing that I can do about that imaginary thing right now. What I will do is, if that happens, I will worry about it then. So every time I find myself creating these works of fiction in my head where I'm starting to worry about an upcoming meeting or I'm worrying about leads or whatever it is that's in the future that I have no particular control of and is probably not even going to happen, then I will just stop myself and say, stop worrying about fiction. Worry about it if it happens. Now, worry is a good thing. It can be utilized to ensure that you jump to action. So if you're worried about future leads, etc., there are certain activities that you can still engage with to ensure you can avoid what you're worrying about. And obviously, I'd recommend you do that. But at the same time, when you start to get all of this crippling anxiety over things that you probably can't control and probably won't even happen, then tell yourself, I'm not going to worry about this unless it happens. Now, I understand this is easier said than done, and this is something that I am still doing to this day, something I'm still practicing. I still get crippling anxiety before some of my calls, even with the nicest possible people, because for some reason I've made up in my head that I've upset them. For no reason other than it's in my head and I'm going crazy about it. So I tell you, I am being frank, I struggle with this a lot, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. This is my mechanism, and hopefully this mechanism can be useful to you. Do you get this sort of anxiety, this sort of fear? Do you have anything that you use? Share in the comments below. Let's help each other out on this Frank Friday. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, and also check out our free Facebook group over on agencytrailblazer.com/group. Folks, if we don't see you in there, we will see you in the next episode.